Hey family, it's your girl Jaleesa. Um, I want to do something a little different. I'm gonna switch this page up a little bit. Now I've given a little backstory, um, as far as being gang stalked, so on and so forth. Karmic family, friends, exes, randoms, and stuff like that. But today I want to shift it, and I made this a long time ago. I can't tell you. I think it was last year. So not that long ago, but last year. Today's October 22nd, 2025. Um, but I had made these. They're just little, little things that I had wrote down, like topics that, at some point that I would like to talk about. But what I didn't realize was that I had already started making some of my topics and stuff. So I got like a topic here and then, bullet points and stuff like that. And I was gonna grab some of these, but because I don't have my outline, which it didn't matter, I was gonna wing it anyway. But I like a little structure so I know exactly what I'm talking about and stuff like that. Um, and so yeah, so I will go back and pull from these and stuff like that. But I wanted to speak. Oh, I'm gonna do that one too. Okay. Today's topic is gonna be about healthy relationships. Um, again, um, my channel's fairly new. I don't know how if I'm able to go over 15 minutes as of right now. So I'm just gonna talk until the 15-minute mark, and then if I need to do a part two, I will. Um, I have affirmations that I made. Like I'm literally just sitting on money in a sense. I made some affirmations and and like some money affirmations as well. So the money I haven't grabbed. This was the first one from my I am affirmations. And it says, I am grateful for the talents and abilities that God has given me. I am grateful for the talents and abilities that God has given me. And I kind of needed that. I woke up fine, whatever, but sometimes that extra push, somebody, the universe, somebody, anybody to let I'm proud of you, you know, um, or just being grateful. Um, and I usually am always grateful, to especially wake up, especially in this world, and then family literally planning my death, and I'm alive. Um, but those little nudges are always, you know, needed. And even if we don't say it, sometimes we don't even think it, but it's always good for somebody to let us know. Oh, and I got more right here. Oh, this was from that one. And then this one, I embrace my individuality as a reflection of God's creativity. So I'm going to put those there. Now, the two money ones that I picked was wealth flows to me effortlessly and abundantly, and I am a steward of the resources God has entrusted to me, and I manage them wisely and faithfully. So those are the three for today. And let's get into the message. Please comment, like, subscribe, share to anybody that you think needs this message or any of my other messages. I thank you, the viewer, for even giving me some of your time and coming here and spending some time with me. I appreciate it. I hope that you feel like family. I hope that you feel seen. I hope that you are seen by me. You're heard. Your voice matters. And don't bottle up your emotions and stuff. Somehow, some way, please release them, whether it's writing, being creative, or just talking to somebody. I know that this is YouTube, it's a social platform, but in the near future, I hope to make um, either here or somewhere else a sacred space that we all can literally interact like on a first name basis. And we know that the karmics can't intercede in that and, you know, reclaim ourself, reclaim self-love, and get into healthy relationships, platonic or romantic. 505 on the timer. So the topic is healthy relationships, and that can be mental, emotional, physically, and spiritually. And I didn't put that on here. Let me add that. And you know, I'll always say it's easier said than done, just because it is. We can say whatever we want, but the actions behind it, it may not be that easy. All of us have gone through trials and tribulations. All of us have some form of trauma. And I will never tell you that your trauma or my trauma is greater or lesser than the next person or you, because that's not true. God gives, I don't want to say his, toughest battles to his stronger soldiers. Say that 10 times fast. Although that is true, but I may not be able to handle what you handled and vice versa. You know, Everybody's mental, our brains are wired differently, physically, emotionally. Some of us are stronger than others. And I would never try to push on to you or others, well, I did it this way, or I just did it in general, so you can do it. You better do it, because I don't know your strengths and your weaknesses. And when you've been torn down in your life, family, friends, lovers, or just, co-workers and bosses and just everybody that you interact with on a day-to-day basis, you know, it sometimes becomes a lot. You sit there, and although we shouldn't compare, but we're human, we do. You may sit there and look at it like, excuse me, well, you know, I've done the steps that I was supposed to succeed and get out of the darkness, but now here are more obstacles. Um, I've tried, and I'm just speaking in general, myself too, but, I tried to go about that situation the correct way. I tried to have a conversation with this person, and not everybody is mature. Some people like toxicity, but it's healthy relationships, healthy connections that what will fuel your soul, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, as a chosen one, the black sheep, the scape, wow, being the scapegoat of the family, you sit there and you start looking at the world in a different lens. And I've done that before, but I'm really realizing that I have a lot of people out there in the world cheering for me in a positive way than the people in my personal life cheering for me in a negative way. And like I always say, be careful on who prays for you. Be careful on who you ask to pray for you, because you may be asking them to pray, pray for you, but they're prey, praying on you. You know, um, so really have discernment. And if your body feels some type of way around people, or even with thoughts, environment, so on and so forth, pay attention to that. We tend to go against our intuition, and that is the thing that's going to save us. Our intuition speaks 1,000 words that words can't speak. I can tell you all day until I'm blue in the face, I'm here for you, I'm here for you, I'm here for you. Oh, I don't want anything bad to happen to you and your children, you and your family, whatever the case may be. Oh, I hope you get that job. I hope you get that promotion. I hope that car comes through. Whatever the case may be. I could say it to you in your face. I can have this big old smile. But then your body is going to tell you something different. And you may not understand it in the moment, but that's when you pause, you reflect, and you speak to the Most High, you know, the creator source, God, the universe, whoever you subscribe to, and ask them, what did Jaleesa, really mean? Was it good intentions? Was it bad? Because a smile can really hide a lot, you know? Um, and again, stress kills you quicker, you know? Stressing, and I was stressing just a few days ago, you know? And it really weighed me down. And I had to get in my Bible bag real quick and speak to the Most High, speak to my spirit team, and they got me together. You know, the battle that I'm facing is crazy. Other people have gone through the same and worse than me. Some people don't even have their life, unfortunately, for like the battles that I'm dealing with, like the spiritual stuff and breaking out the matrix and stuff. If, you know, but don't let stress consume you. You know, I'm 32 years old, didn't know what I was going through, and when I was stressing, my body was out of whack, like my nervous system was all fucked up. Um, my weight was going up and down and all that. So that leads me into the next bullet. You know, well, before I go there, prioritize you first. Anything that consumes you in a negative way and is just draining your life force, get rid of it. Again, easier said than done, but if you know that job is you know just sucking the life out of you, find another one. Or what I really want to push, my main goal. And again, I have no problem helping people, and we can build that rapport, because you don't know me, and I don't know you. But I promise you, I just want you to succeed. I don't want you to have to keep slaving away for these corporations, and you're being taken away from your family, and you're spending more time with the job and making their pockets, fatter, and you're being depleted. Like I always say, everything goes up but a paycheck. So if it's mentally exhausting, emotionally, which is kind of like the same thing, physically, spiritually, go back to the drawing board, write the pros and cons of your life or that situation in general, and then take it to the Most High and see where He's leading you, because two things can be correct. You can be drained from that job, and we all do, you do have talents and abilities that somebody needs. You know, all of us, and I actually encourage everybody to write a book. Literally, if we want to start simple, everybody write a book, you know, because stay right there, because somebody can learn from your experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just like I can learn from your experience. You could be a 55-year-old single Arabic man and was shunned out of your community and I don't know why I said Arabic, but just I just want to show that all of us are different for a reason, but we all have experiences that the next person can learn from. You could be a 32-year-old single white female who has 3 kids. You were married, you got married out of high school, and now your spouse, slept with your friend. I mean, that's my situation. Slept with your friend. Look at my situation. Although I'm not a white female, I'm a black female. I'm 32. I have children, you know, but how did you overcome that? You know, um, you could be a 16-year-old young male, and your parents weren't in your life. Let's say you were in the system or whatever. But at 16, you have the mind of a 66-year-old. Because remember, age does not define maturity, neither do experiences. Age is nothing but a number, you know? But at 16, you may have more life lessons and valuable knowledge, wisdom, and all that than even me at 32, you know? And that could be, just because of your walk, the life that was presented to you. We all get dealt cards. It's just, how are we going to play this game called life, you know? So you know um like I said, two things can be right. You can be working a job, you may not like where you're at in your life, but I strongly encourage you to go back to the drawing board, write the pros and cons down, and then start a business. Still stay at that job and start a business on the side. There's so many free websites, you know, uh, these little apps that you can do, have it free before you have to pay for a subscription. And, you know, I started to do that, and then my karmic, baby father, and I don't like using that, but because of the situation, I'm calling him that. I'm just calling it like it is. Um, I was